Okay, let's look at, this is 88. Let's look at the region first. And so the x starts at 0. Whoops. The x starts at 0. And it goes up to pi. X equals pi. All right? If I look at the y, right, the y starts at 0, and it goes up to root pi. All right, so I'm basically looking at a square. So I'm going to say pi's over here somewhere, and root pi maybe over here somewhere. Something like this. All right? So now my next question is, I wonder if I can integrate it as it stands, or do I got to move things around? Let's give it a shot. And the first thing I'd recommend to do in this problem over here, and I want to concentrate on it, and what I want to concentrate on is my ability to integrate this guy right over here. Let me write that down for you. So it's going to be 0 to pi, and then y. Now, I'm of the opinion that expanding that might be a good idea. Let's take a look at that. So it's going to be y sine x times cosine y squared plus sine y squared cosine of x dx. All right, it looks pretty bad, but let's go through it. And I'm going to split into two integrations now. So equals 0 to pi, and I see, let's see, y sine x cosine y squared, whoops, not dy, dx, right? Plus 0 to pi sine y squared cosine x dx. I got two integrations to do, and hopefully I'll be able to do those two integrations. What do you get over here? Let's take a look. I can factor out a y cosine y squared. And then the antiderivative of sine is minus cosine. Limit of integration 0 to pi. And we'll evaluate that in a moment. Plus, this can be sine y squared, and the antiderivative of cosine is going to be sine. Limits of integration 0 to pi. Let's do that. And let's see what we get over here. Again, this pertains to x over here. So what do you get? You get minus y cosine y squared. The cosine of pi is minus 1. And that's going to be minus on minus, which is plus y cosine y squared. And the cosine of 0 is just 1, right? I'll do the next integration, but let me simplify this over here. So what do you get? You get, let's see, you get 2. Y cosine y squared. Let's see if I did that right. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do the next one. And again, this is the x, so the sine of pi is 0, and the sine is 0, 0. So that's 0. That was easy. All right, so let's write this down now. And what do you get over here? You get 0 to root pi, and then I can pull a 2 out, and I get y cosine y squared dy. Right, the question is, can I integrate that? And it looks like it's doable. I'm going to do a u substitution on it. And I'm going to say u. Let me erase some things that I don't need anymore. I'll do this up here. U. Whoops, that's not a u. U equals y squared du 2y dy. So let's do this over here. Let's take a look at this then. So I see the 2y dy, and that's going to be du. And I see the cosine of y squared is going to be cosine of u. And then I got this lower limit, 0, and I plug it in for y. What do you get for u? You get 0. And if you plug in, the root of pi for y squared, you get u would be pi. Let's write this down. It's going to be sine of u evaluated from 0 to pi. What does that give you? Let's see, sine of pi is 0, and a sine of 0 is 0, so it just gives you 0. So I'm going to commit to that answer, and I think we're completed that. I'm going to scroll over here. I want to point out, a lot of times when I'm reading my notes, by the way, this is something you're not aware of, by the way, I see things I need to correct, and certainly I correct it. However, I do want to point out, if you think there's something wrong in my notes, I know sometimes I misspeak, by the way. That's just a natural consequence of not paying attention to myself speaking. But if you see anything that I'm typing up that's incorrect, you probably should reach out to me and let me know that. And if you don't know by now, my name is Bannon, and my email address is Bannon, B as in boy, the @ symbol, NNON.US. And if you told me what documents you're looking at, I'd be more than happy to look at it. And if you point out an egregious error, I'll certainly give you credit for it. And what we're doing over here, we're kind of looking at the work. And let me just see if I got this cosine u du. Yeah, we're there, and it's equal to 0. We did the work there. Thank you for paying attention.